Coach Pete Richardson Show, hosted by Clarence Buggs and Southern University head football coach Pete Richardson. Brought to you by Coca-Cola, Max Acadian Furniture, Tops Unlimited, Acadian True Value Hardware, Duplessis Cadillac Volvo, the Louisiana Lottery, Agnes Andrews Allstate Insurance, Baton Rouge Metro Airport, and McDonald's.
Hey Louisiana, this is Bob Eubanks. Here's a list of just some of the Powerball Game Show all-cash winners from your area. And you can be a winner too, but it all starts with this.
The Powerball Game Show $2 scratch-off. You may win up to $20,000 instantly, or a chance to win $1 million on our show in Hollywood, or win thousands of dollars sitting at home watching Powerball the Game Show. Buy your Powerball the Game Show scratch-off tickets today.
And I'll look for you in Hollywood.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
Wouldn't you love a sunroof in your car? How about a simulated convertible top or rich supple leather seats? Maybe a television entertainment system for those road trips. Tops Unlimited is the only name to know for automotive aftermarket accessories. Custom grills, ground effects and rear spoilers, wood grain dash kits, convertible top replacement, and more. It's all available at Tops Unlimited, serving Baton Rouge for over 18 years. Located at 11311 Cedar Park Avenue off Segan Lane. Our business is Tops.
Hello and welcome once again to the 3rd edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. I'm Clarence Buggs along with the coach, Pete Richardson, and of course we come to you from our new location, De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway, formerly the old Crawfish City. Coach, here it is a week later since our last talk, and boy, what a difference a week can make.
Well, you're right. I thought we went into the game playing with the idea of stopping the run. I thought we did that. The weather was a factor, but you know, overall, I'm proud of my football team and where they played hard for 60 minutes in that mud.
You talk about stopping the run. The defense really took it up a whole notch this past weekend.
Well, we realized what happened to us last year. We were thoroughly embarrassed. We couldn't stop the run. They decimated us on defense, and that was one of our goals is to try to stop them 2 great running backs, and we did a good job at it.
Of course, the offense matched the defense's intensity. They put up 28 points in the first half alone.
I think the first 3 drives we had the ball offensively set the whole tone for the football game. We went down the field, scored on those 3 drives, and it's almost changed Arkansas Pine Bluff philosophy, what they had to do in order to catch up.
It's almost as though Terrence Levy took it kind of personal. Even despite the conditions, you could see him grab this offense by the horns and say, all right, guys, let's get rolling.
I think it's the confidence level that our players have in Terrence as far as making plays for him. We had practice in the rain for probably the last couple of weeks, and we were throwing the ball around just like it was dry, so our players were kind of used to it. And, you know, you have to get used to the footing in the mud, and I think they did a good job.
Well, first half highlights are on tap, so without any further ado, let's go straight to action now from this past week at A.W. Mumford Stadium. Of course, as we said, the conditions were just a tad inclement, but it didn't stop the band nor the Jaguar Nation. Let's pick it up 3rd and 3 from the 31, Terrence Levy to Devin Lewis for 69 yards, Coach.
I think it was a slant that he checked off, and Devin caught the ball, and all of a sudden, boom, the defensive back missed the tackle, and he was gone for that yardage.
Kind of picked up where he left off, 3 plays into the second half, the game before?
Well, he had some big plays in both games, and I think he's doing a good job with the chemistry, and of course, we're doing a good job on those PATs. I think he's been successful the whole year.
At that point, it was 7-0. Very next drive, Powell picks up, a matter of fact, loses 7 yards on this carry.
I think Cooper and them did a great job on that stunt. We knew we had to stop the running game, so we had a variety of blitzes to get them to stop before we got started.
And of course, as you say, showing there, 3 plays later, another loss. Then we go to our next possession. Terrence Levy finds Kentrell Plain for 3 yards.
Well, we caught him in a blitz, and all of a sudden he ran a down, out, and up. And he did a good job of catching that ball on the sidelines because it was real slick.
2 plays later, 29 yards, Kentrell Plain, we punch it in.
Well, Plain is stepping forward. He had been injured there for a while. He got an opportunity when Hayes got hurt, and he's doing a fine job for us.
At that point, we were up by 14 to the tune of 14-0. We move now to the ensuing drive for the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. 3 plays into the drive, Ron Johnson puts it on the ground, and we, of course, taking advantage of every opportunity that was given to us early in this contest, are right back in business, Coach.
Well, we had a stack, and they ran a handoff to one of the tailbacks, and he dropped it, and of course Dorsey dove on it, and we recovered it back, and we had an opportunity to move on offense again. 5
plays later, Jeremy Williams picks up 7 yards, and we are up 21-0 early in the game.
Well, I think the energy level was there now. We went right down the field and scored again. We're up 21-0 now because of the field conditions, and it almost put the Arkansas Pine Bluff out of their game plan.
3 drives later, we move now to it being 1st and 10 from the UAPB 28. Dwight McKissick stopped by the defense again. And the defense, of course, we can't say enough about the job that they did, Coach.
Well, overall, I thought the assistant coaches did a fine job of preparation as far as getting them ready for that football game and what they expected. We knew we had to stop the run. They were huge on the offensive line, and I thought they did a great job of keeping it inside. And we had a lot of people around the football at all times. 2 plays later, Kentrell Blotcher, Jabari Green, another big stop after a 4-yard gain. Well, I think it was to get as many people around the ball as possible because of 2 great running backs. Of course, the quarter ends 21-0. Our next possession, Terrence Levy is picked off by Dante Wesley at our 44. Well, we threw a slant pattern, and all of a sudden the receiver bobbled it and went up in there, and they came down with it for an interception. Of course, Powell punches it in, as you just saw there, and they're on the board 21-7. We come right back, however. Aaron Wall's kickoff is taken by Ezra Landry. This is going to be an outstanding young man, Coach. I think he's doing a fine job in his first college experience. He's a little returner, but he does a good job in the wet as far as making people miss. Of course, we saw there Powell and Bradley unable to hook up, so our next drive, Terrence Levy picks up 11 in the slot. Well, we knew we had to run the quarterback. We had him spread out, and Levy did a fine job inside of running that misdirection play. 2 plays later, Devin Lewis for 18 yards. Well, Devin is having an extraordinary year. He knew he had to step up, especially when Hayes went down. I think he developed that chemistry with Terrence, and he's doing a fine job. There again, we see Terrence Levy to Devin Lewis picking up 12 yards. We move now to 6 plays later in the drive. Drayton Briggs gets his first reception for 20 yards. I think Drayton is starting to come around. He's been on the team for a couple years. Now he understands the system. He's getting an opportunity to play, and he can make plays. Once again, Hayward Guyan picks up 5 yards from Terrence Levy. We have a number of receivers that are able to catch the football, and all of them is getting an opportunity. Antonio Williams there caps off the drive, punching it in. Francisco Villagrano adds the point after, and at that point it was 28-7 in favor of the homestanding Jaguars, and that, of course, is the way that the first half ended. When we come back, the Coach Pete Richardson Show will have, of course, second half highlights for you, and, of course, a look ahead to the Panthers of Prairie View, our very next game. You're watching the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Stay with us.
In a hurry? Going places? Gotta fly? Check our fares first, because right now, the airlines serving Baton Rouge are offering more flights and lower fares to destinations throughout the nation and around the world. So pick your destination, make your reservation, and get your travel plans moving with competitive, convenient air service at Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
In the last 5 years, you've updated your computer twice, updated your home entertainment system, updated your camcorder, updated your wardrobe. Isn't it time you updated your insurance?
For a free insurance checkup, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Yo, what the deal on the really real? Just left the crib zone, steady, ready for the field dash. Off the top, get it grip, it's on the pop, a flick of the wrist and twist. Irresistible, gotta hit you with the most flavorful. I'll drink to that wherever you're at. It's understood, no doubt, in my mind that life tastes good.
Here at Duplessis Volvo, we think safety every day. and that will never change.
That's right, Ron. With summer ending, we're also thinking savings.
During the summer sell down, all 2001 models are priced to go at a low 3.9.
Like the S40, will change your mind about how affordable a European sedan can be. Own this S40 priced over $26,000 for only $21,777.
Remember, Volvo for life at Duplessis Volvo.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Clarence Buggs along with the Coach Pete Richardson. Of course, we come to you again from our new location, De London's Restaurant, the old Crawfish City at 4748 Airline Highway. Coach, you're up at the half, 28-7. What was the mood like in the locker room at that juncture?
Well, I think at that time we knew that we had them in a position that we really wanted them. They had to throw the football, and that's out of their comfort zone. As long as we can control the second half, and I think we did a good job at that.
Did you think you would be up by that big a margin that early in the game?
I didn't think so. I knew that we had to stop the running game, and you know, we had our opportunities. And the first time that we went down the field on 3 consecutive drives and scored, and we were feeling real good at that time in the locker room.
Well, right now, let's jump to second half highlights from the Jaguars and the Golden Lions of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. On their first possession, Coach, Powell to Bradley for 9 yards.
Well, we stunned it. It was a sprint out, and he got outside to contain, and they broke it, and he spotted a man running down the sidelines and hit him.
4 plays later, 15-yard completion.
Well, it was another 15 yards for the touchdown. It was double coverage, and the individual did a fine job of getting in behind the defensive back for that score for him.
Of course, Aaron Wall comes in for the point after touchdown. It is true to the mark, and they cut our lead in half. At that point, it's now 28-14. We move now to 2 possessions later. Powell is going to get a big hit, and he's dropped for a loss of 5.
Well, we stunned it off the left side. I think Chapman had a great game of coming off that flank, and he really shook the quarterback up at that time.
Our next possession, we turn it over. Terrence Levy's picked off by Terrell Hammonds.
Well, he was scrambling around, and the ball popped up in the air, and they came down with it because of the mud.
Third quarter ends 28-14. Our very first possession of the third quarter, Terrence Levy finds Kentrell Plain for 16.
Well, Plain is doing a good job of filling in, especially running across the middle, and he's taking some big hits, and he's doing okay for us.
Unfortunately, very next play, Antonio puts it on the ground.
Well, we tried to run ice inside, and they stripped the ball, and we gave it right back to him at that time.
We move now 3 possessions later. Francisco Villagrano. The boy's been on so far this year, Coach, despite the inclement field conditions.
Well, he's doing a good job of filling in, kicking for us, and he punted down there, and we had a big hit by JP, and we were able to get the ball right back on that fumble.
Got to give some props to Lenny Williams for the recovery on that as well. Francisco Villagrano, no sooner than we talk about him, unable to get off this 38-yarder, missed it wide left.
Well, because of the field conditions, and that was probably the worst part of the field, but we had to make an attempt to it, and it went wide for us, but we're still in pretty good shape at that time.
And of course, the clock there shows you 35-14 was the final. Psychologically now, Coach, you've gotten that first win under your belt. It's got to be a different ball club from this time a week ago.
Well, it's a good feeling for this football team. We knew we could not afford to fall 1 game behind in our conference because that's what happened to us last year. And going into this point with this football team, you have to feel good. Although we have to make some improvements, we realize that.
We were talking a little bit off camera before the show began. The way the format is set up now with the teams, how crucial is it that you not get an early loss in conference play?
Well, it's crucial because of the split conference, because if you lose up top, no team is going to get in the championship game with 2 defeats, and we realize that. So it was important for both teams, and especially for us, to get off to a good start in that game. And I think we did that, and defense stepped forward and made some big plays for us.
It's got to be awfully tough on the Golden Lions. Last year, after they beat us, they fell on some hard times because of some academic ineligibility problems. But psychologically, it's got to be an uphill battle for their coaching staff from this point.
Well, you're going to have to do a tremendous coaching job now with that football team, because they left out of here decimated as far as hopes of trying to get in the championship, and they know no team is going to lose 2 games to get to that championship game, and they got a fine football team. Anytime you have 23 seniors on a football team, they know what it takes. They've been in some big football games, so I'm quite sure that Coach Hartman will get that team back.
When we come back, we've got the top choice player of the week, around the SWAC, and much, much more when the Pete Richardson Show continues. Stay with us.
Max Catering Furniture is having the biggest sale ever. During the sale, when you purchase that 2, 3, 4-piece living room set, Max Catering Furniture is going to give you a coffee table set free. Everybody needs a coffee table set with their living room set, so now it's definitely the time to purchase that brand new living room set or take advantage of specials throughout the whole store on bedroom sets, dinettes, appliances, and TVs, and much, much more. And with same-day delivery and the guaranteed fastest credit approval, Max Catering Furniture is your store for all your furniture and appliance needs. Call the credit hotline at 356-5591.
Wouldn't you love a sunroof in your car? How about a simulated convertible top or rich supple leather seats? Maybe a television entertainment system for those road trips. Tops Unlimited is the only name to know for automotive aftermarket accessories, custom grills, ground effects and rear spoilers, wood grain dash kits, convertible top replacement, and more. It's all available at Tops Unlimited, serving Baton Rouge for over 18 years. Located at 11311 Cedar Park Avenue off Segan Lane. Our business is Tops.
Imagine a place that understands you'd rather be doing anything on Saturday other than fixing your faucet. A place that knows you can't spend half the weekend shopping for your weekend projects. True Value. For the jobs you do most and look forward to least. Because the sooner you get done, the sooner you can get back to this thing called your life. True Value.
Acadian True Value, serving Baton Rouge for over 25 years. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations.
Hey Louisiana, this is Bob Eubanks. Here's a list of just some of the Powerball Game Show all-cash winners from your area. And you can be a winner too, but it all starts with this.
The Powerball Game Show $2 scratch-off. You may win up to $20,000 instantly or a chance to win $1 million on our show in Hollywood. Or win thousands of dollars sitting at home watching Powerball the Game Show. Buy your Powerball the Game Show scratch-off tickets today.
And I'll look for you in Hollywood.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. We come to you from De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. That, of course, is the old Crawfish City location. Coach, top choice player of the week. Once again, it's that time. Who gets the award on offense this week?
I think offensively, Terrence Levy had a great game, and defensively, Chapman came on with some big sacks, especially for our defense.
Well, congratulations to both those guys, our top choice offensive and defensive players of the week. Right now, we go around the SWAC. Of course, the big one, Grambling 30 over Alabama A&M 7, 30-7. Somewhat of a surprise there?
Well, I thought that Grambling had a strong team, but it looks like Alabama A&M is having some problems trying to score offensively.
Alcorn State 20-17 winners over Alabama State.
Well, that was a stunner for me because I thought that Alabama State was picked to win or share the championship game, and Alcorn had lost so many games, so they must have regrouped in a hurry.
Mississippi Valley spanked by Delta State 25-3 the final there.
Well, Delta State won the national championship in Division II last year, so they have a strong team.
UTEP 52-6 winners over Texas Southern.
Well, Texas Southern played a Division I school, and apparently they didn't come out too well.
And speaking of big scores, McNeese 56, Prairie View 0.
Well, McNeese is probably one of the finest teams in Division I AA, and they're rated in the top 5 in the country. And of course, Prairie View went against a strong team.
Speaking of Prairie View and the 56-0 score, what do we know about them so far? What are their strong points and weak points?
Well, I think Coach Dorsey is doing a fine job of regrouping that program. I can see some improvement in that program from last year. Offensively, they want to throw the football. He's got a fine quarterback, senior in Foster, and defensively, of course, Bobby Perry does a fine job for him, one of the secondary people, and he's probably leading the conference in tackles.
From a coaching standpoint, how tough is it to keep your kids focused, knowing that this is Prairie View that you're playing this week?
Well, it's not tough for us because every time we play Prairie View, it's like their homecoming. I mean, they play and they're a scrappy football team, and they're excited because it's almost the biggest game of the season for them because they don't play in front of that many people. So we have to be on guard, but our players understand it's a conference game, and it means a great deal for our program.
You know, a lot of the coaches that I talk to around the Southwestern Athletic Conference say that, well, yes, Prairie View, you know, if you go out and play hard, you're going to get a win, but come Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, you always know you've been in a ball game when you play Prairie View.
Well, they're a scrappy bunch, and they're finally getting some scholarship back in their program. I think Coach Dorsey is going to do a fine job, and their players play hard for 60 minutes. I think that's all you can ask for them, and I think administration is going to give them a little more help as far as adding some more players to that football team.
You know, it's no secret that over the past few years, and in particular a few years before that, there was a little bit of bad blood between Prairie View, and Southern. But it seems like all of that now is water under the bridge, and it's kind of a testament to the two universities and your programs in particular.
Well, I think, you know, a few years back we had some problems as far as with the bands, but, you know, I think most of that is probably diminished at the present time. And you see two programs that's trying to get their act together, and I think that they'll do a fine job, and I know Coach Dorothy will have them ready to go when they come to Baton Rouge.
You know, everybody talks about the fact that Prairie View is one of the weaker teams in the conference, but obviously when it comes down to it, if you mess around and let your guard down, then you'll be in the same boat that UAPB finds themselves in as we cut this show.
Well, you try to emphasize to your players it's not a gimme game. You know, anytime you line down on any given day, any team can beat somebody else, so you have to be on guard.
Well, when we come back to this edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show, we've got more action from this past weekend at A.W. Mumford Stadium, and of course a special invitation to you, the Jaguar Nation. Stay with us. You're watching the Coach Pete Richardson Show.
Here at Duplessis Volvo, we think safety every day, and that will never change.
That's right, Ron. With summer ending, we're also thinking savings.
During the summer sell down, all 2001 models are priced to go at a low 3.9.
Like this 40 will change your mind about how affordable a European sedan can be. Own this S40 priced over $26,000 for only $21,777.
Remember, Volvo for life at Duplessis Volvo.
Did you know that by following a few simple directions, your insurance could cost a lot less?
To find out how safe drivers can save, see Agnes Andrews at 1200 South Acadian Thruway, Suite 217. You're in good hands with Allstate.
In a hurry? Going places? Gotta fly? Check our fares first, because right now, the airlines serving Baton Rouge are offering more flights and lower fares to destinations throughout the nation and around the world. So pick your destination, make your reservation, and get your travel plans moving with competitive, convenient air service at Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Again, we come to you from De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. For those of you who are not all that familiar with the numerical postings on airline highways, just simply remember it is the old Crawfish City. Coach, as we get into this segment, we want to start off talking about the injury report. How did we come out against the Golden Lions of UAPB?
Well, I think the only injury report we have at the present time is Cooper. He finished up the game, but he probably had a shoulder problem and won't be able to take part in that upcoming game for us.
A lot of people have been wondering when exactly is Al Trevion Jobert going to get back. Saw on the news earlier today that he is in fact back. What is his status at this point?
Well, he came back to practice today. We're going to feel him out for the next 2 or 3 days just to see how strong that leg is, and we're going to try to let him go a little bit, but hopefully we got to get him ready for the long run. I think if we can get him back, we should be in great shape.
So is that a kind of a round the corner way of saying don't look to see him against Prairie View?
Well, we're trying to hold him back as long as we can to make sure that he feels comfortable in his mind that that leg is going to be okay, and once he gets over the psychological aspect of it, he should be fine as an athlete.
Anybody else that's returning to the Jaguar lineup that's been injured so far this season?
I think Larry Harrell didn't play in our last game. He hurt his shoulder in our opening game, and then he's coming back slow, but looks like he's ready to play for us at that right tackle, and he's really going to help us out a great, especially on that offensive line.
Of course, I'm sure a lot of members of the Jaguar Nation are also concerned about Michael Hayes. What is the status as far as the scheduling of his operation? And first and foremost, has the swelling gone down enough to even consider that?
Well, the swelling has gone down. I think next week he's scheduled to get the operation on that leg, and we're looking forward to try to get him back. It's going to be a long rehab period for Michael Hayes. Then once that happens, we have to reapply to the NC2A to get certification so he can get his year back.
You know, one of the, I guess, good things, if there is such a thing as being a silver lining to this Hayes injury cloud, is the fact that Devin Lewis has really broken out and is a shining star now.
Well, Devin finished up the season last year as a strong player. He worked extremely hard in the offseason, got his confidence back, and he came in. He was ready to go. He's a player about 6'3.5", about 205 pounds, and he had the opportunity. Now we moved him into Hayes' spot, and he's doing a great job. Anytime you can receive over 100 yards a game, you're doing something special. Fine for college football.
I guess it's good that we're on the verge of getting Al Trevion back into playing condition, because you got to think it's not going to be long before Devin Lewis is going to draw a double team anytime he comes to the line of scrimmage.
Well, they're already starting to double team him, and I think what's happening then, some of the other players like Haywood is starting to step up, and also playing down on the inside is starting to come back off his injury. We have about 5 or 6 wide receivers that we feel comfortable that can come in and do a great job for us.
Well, when we come back, we will wrap up this edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show. Stay with us.
McDonald's has some unbelievable values, like the McRib Jr. for just 99 cents. A 99-cent McRib Jr. made hot, fresh, and right to order just for you.
McDonald's, we love to see you smile. Yo, what the deal on the really real? Just left the crib zone, steady, ready for the field dash. Off the top, get it grip, it's on the pop, flick of the wrist and twist. Irresistible, gotta hit you with the most flavorful. I'll drink to that wherever you're at. It's understood, no doubt, in my mind that life tastes good. Life tastes good. You know how it feels. Coke in your hand. It's all good with a Coke. Life tastes good.
At McDonald's, we know what makes you smile, like our great tasting Mighty Wings. A great taste available with ranch or Louisiana hot sauce for dipping. Doesn't that make you smile?
At McDonald's, we love to see you smile.
Welcome back to the Coach Pete Richardson Show for our final segment. Of course, we come to you from our new location, De London's Restaurant, 4748 Airline Highway. That is, of course, the old Crawfish City. Coach, as we get ready to wrap up our final segment here, how much of a plea can we make to the fans to come out? Because we had a little drop-off in attendance this past week, and it's very important that we fill Mumford this week.
I think it's important for our football team to have a packed stadium. The players really appreciate the fans coming out, and hopefully the weather can change so we can get a bright day so they can come out and fill it up.
And of course, it's a little more significant in that after this game, there's only one other home game remaining on the schedule for this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, our first 3 games are at home. Then we go on the road. We come back for homecoming, and that's it for our fans here at home.
How important has the fan base been for the Jaguar team so far this year?
Well, it's extremely important for our football team. Even on the road, we realize that our fans are second to none. They like football here at Southern University, and also they like to come and see the band play. And on Saturday afternoon, they make it an all-day activity. Most of them do the tailgating, and then they come to the football game.
At the risk of giving away any of the game plan as we get ready to wrap up this session, anything new that we can look for in the game plan against Prairie View this week?
I think the main thing, we have to stay focused and pick up our intensity. Also, I want to have an opportunity to let some of the younger players play if we can for that experience down the road, especially when injuries start to come in.
All right, all you moms and dads and members of the Jaguar Nation, there you have it. Be sure to be on the lookout for a couple of different jersey numbers this week. Hopefully we'll get to run that score up early on in the contest and get to play as many people as possible. On behalf of our entire production crew, of course, the coach, Pete Richardson, I'm Clarence Buggs. We will see you, members of the Jaguar Nation, same time, same station, next week for another edition of the Coach Pete Richardson Show.